The first-person shooter genre is fairly old, but it's incredible how popular sniping games have been. While there is an appeal to running around and mowing down enemies, hanging back and picking off your targets from a distance with terrifying precision can also be fun. Let's take a look back at 15 such demanding sniper titles and what makes them so much fun. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. The guerrilla warfare aspect and lack of a radar in Metal Gear Solid 3 turned sniping into a fairly important mechanic. Rifles could be used to scout ahead and pick off foes from a safe distance. After all, though, you still had to be careful about leaving bodies. The true test came when facing the end. If you actually tried fighting him, then tracing his position and not getting caught was the key, especially with how incredible his aim could be. This also opened up a number of strategies like capturing and releasing his parrot, while using the directional microphone to find his position. Escape from Tarkov. Escape from Tarkov can be fairly tense with the overall gameplay being so realistic, and then there are things like zeroing which can be hit or miss. Picking a good rifle and scope when sniping is key, but so is knowing the map and predicting enemy locations based on the best sniping positions. Camouflage and carefully navigating your surroundings is also important, along with being patient and not thirsting for kills. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Make no mistake, the beloved Ghosts was met with skepticism at first. Thankfully, Ghost Recon Wildlands evolved into quite a fun tactical shooter experience. The expansive landscapes of Bolivia allowed for some fun sniping scenarios, whether you were carefully infiltrating a camp or picking off choppers from the sky. Yet consideration of bullet penetration, bullet drop, and scope sway, along with using the right sniper for the job, is still very important. Overwatch. Sniping in Overwatch has always been interesting to say the least. While Widowmaker was previously OP, subsequent nerfs have brought her down to a more situational level. Managing the charge timer for each shot, never mind grappling up for a mid-air headshot, is a lot easier said than done, and that's not accounting for the various shields or counter picks. Securing those headshots is still as satisfying as ever, but also far more challenging. Zombie Army 4 Dead War. For a series that began as a spin-off of the Sniper Elite series, Zombie Army has really grown into its own. Fortunately, despite the ridiculousness of zombie sharks and tanks, sniping is still as robust as ever. There's something cathartic about lining up headshots one after another and watching the score multiplier go up. Or maybe it's the sound of zombie heads exploding, aided by the glorious X-ray kill cams. Regardless, managing your breathing and accounting for bullet drop is still key. RAVENFIELD. It may be in early access and sport a low polygon visual style, but RAVENFIELD can be tons of fun for anyone seeking a fun, Battlefield-esque shooter, though it's single player only. A lot of the enjoyment from sniping comes from the sheer modding support, whether it's the MK12 SPR Marksman, the SVDS, or the M95. There's a lot of choice to be had. Alternatively, you can throw in a bunch of other random mods and mutators. Up the player count like crazy and attempt to snipe your way out of the madness. Silent Scope. So, you think you're great at sniping? How about using a light gun modeled after a real sniper rifle to pick off enemies? Such was the premise behind Konami's arcade title Silent Scope, requiring one to actually move around the unit in order to line up their shots. On top of 5 shots per clip and limited time with kills adding precious seconds to the clock, scoring headshots was a must for taking down sub-bosses and bosses. While it loses a lot of its luster on consoles, Silent Scope was the definitive sniping title back in the day. Battlefield 5. After the disastrous launch of Battlefield 2042, there's been a new appreciation for Battlefield 5 among fans. Among its various stellar gameplay elements is sniping. Each rifle feels unique, and learning the bullet drop distance while predicting an enemy's movement is key. It takes a while, but when you've mastered the fundamentals and start securing kills amid the war-torn environment, there's nothing quite like it. Far Cry 2. Far Cry has always done sniping in a very seamless manner, and Far Cry 2 isn't too much of an exception. Simply put, shoot any vital areas and boom. Though you still need some degree of aiming. What made it challenging was the guns could jam and degrade over time. Being in a shootout and suddenly having a Dragunov or AS-50 jamming out of nowhere wasn't the most forgiving scenario, but it was still fairly unique. GoldenEye 007. In principle, GoldenEye 007's sniper rifle is very straightforward. There's no bullet drop distance, wind direction, or damage falloff to worry about. Rather, it's the actual controller aiming that's an issue. You had to enter aim mode, which heavily restricts your movement, and then use the C buttons on the N64 controller to zoom in. So when your targets are at long range, it just becomes all the more awkward. It's not impossible, but also not the most comfortable sniping experience. Borderlands 2. There are one of two things you'll think about when sniping in Borderlands 2. That is either A, super easy, barely an inconvenience, or B, pathetic and garbage in terms of damage. But that's pretty much a common myth. As it turns out, if you go with 0 and build into sniping, picking up the critical Ascension capstone skill, then you can achieve monstrous damage. The trade-off is that you have to be hitting crits nearly all of the time. Again, it sounds easy, but the reliance on pure mechanical skill, especially in the higher OP levels, to progress is pretty crazy. Hitman 2. Sniping in a Hitman title is all about precision, skill, and making the most of every moment to secure the kill. Hitman 2 upped this even further by introducing a dedicated sniper assassin mode with Agent 47 and with 2 new characters, each having their own unique rifles. Not only are you tasked with eliminating targets, but you have to ensure that suspicious activity, read corpses, go unnoticed by other NPCs. And it's not enough to complete a mission, since more points are earned by creating accidental deaths, hiding bodies, killing targets that are moving, and so on and so forth. It really pushes you to be the best and use each ammo type in the right situation. Hell Let Loose. With large maps that encompass up to 100 combatants, Hell Let Loose is one of the more realistic World War II shooters out there. This extends to the weaponry where knowing recoil patterns and ballistics is as important as communicating with your team. As far as sniping goes, there are only 4 snipers in the entire match, which will also have a spotter. Each rifle also has its own unique bullet drop distance and travel time, and getting caught out means a quick death. Sniper Elite VR. Rebellion's VR take on the Sniper Elite series offers a more streamlined approach to sniping, allowing you to be as stealthy or as loud as possible. You can use the environment to hide the sound of shots, among other things, and the X-ray kill cam, which shows an enemy dying in brutal slow motion, is also present. While not having the most intuitive controls or widest array of objectives, Sniper Elite VR is an interesting way to experience the tried-and-true formula. Geometric Sniper. While other sniping titles rely on realistic ballistics, distance, and other factors, Geometric Sniper offers a clever alternative. It's essentially a hidden object game where you need to find and eliminate your target in crowded environments. Target locations are randomized, so observing the scene carefully is paramount. You can even unlock an elite mode, which disables the zoom and aim stabilization, forcing you to rely on raw skill on top of observation. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.